Wassim, welcome to the Inside GITEX podcast. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, especially with you, Luca.
Oh, right. I like that. Do you like being in my fishbowl?
It's fantastic. It's isolating us from the crowd.
But yet you can still see the crowd and there's a lot of people here.
It's a lot of people. I just came off a panel. It's impressive to get just from the panel to here.
Okay.
It took me 20 minutes.
Did you have to like wrestle a few people, barge them out the way?
I'm trying not to wrestle, others did.
Okay.
Yes.
They were wrestling you.
They're wrestling me.
Have you realized that when most people are walking now, they have to be on their phone? So you're basically dealing with people who are just with their heads down, they don't really have an understanding of spatial awareness.
Yeah, absolutely. And when it's crowded and they do that, it's crazy.
And you need to get aggressive at GITEX.
And by the way, it's bi-directional. They should make sense like one direction.
Yes.
It would be easier.
So that's a good point.
This is a good
I'll
point.
give the feedback to Dubai Intercity.
I'm trying to expand beyond my expertise.
I love that. I love that. And your expertise, look, you are the president of Middle East, Africa, SVP Government Affairs, as well as Europe, I'm
Europe,
guessing.
exactly.
So it's a MEA, not Middle East and Africa. It's a
MEA on government affairs and,
Yep.
and building the business and the operation for
Qualcomm.
Qualcomm in the Middle East, Africa region.
And you've done that for what, nearly 20 years, 20 years more?
20 years, started as government affairs, then moved and added
Yeah.
the business side of things.
But you don't look that old, Wassim. Smallah alaik, you look great. So
Thank you
what's
so
your
much.
tell me off camera what your secret is to looking so good.
Being bold. Bold in two sense. Bold and bold.
I love it. So look, I'm here to talk to you about the global sort of semiconductor race, right?
Yes.
And what's happening there. I have to tell you off the bat,
Yes.
I don't know that much about semiconductors.
Yes.
So you have to humor me, okay?
Yes.
Were you okay with that?
I'm very, very comfortable with that.
Now, I've heard some people call the semiconductors, it's a bit like, it's like a race. It's a bit like the new gold, right? That's what some people have said.
Yeah.
In your view, why are people sort of saying that? And why are microchips becoming just so valuable in every single part of technology right now?
It's so valuable, actually, when you see and read the press, every announcement on a deal on semiconductor now would get the stock up by 10, 20, 30% up, especially in the AI space. Now, I'll make it very humanized. I'll speak about CPU, GPU, NPU. Wow, that's like...
I know about the GPU.
GPU now became everything new.
GPUs
CPU, people used to know about it when it's in the PC, right?
Yes,
Every
I know about
single
CPU.
CPU.
What's NPU?
You see, I got your attention.
Already.
Neural processing unit.
You know what? I would have gone with neural because of NLP.
Yes.
So I would have taken the NLP and applied it to the...
That's it. So AI
NPU.
brought like new challenges to
Yep.
how you build a chip, a small chip. Right now we had 3 nanometers. It's very, very advanced. Very advanced kind of semiconductor. It's based on silicon and you do a lot on it.
Yeah.
Now you do processing. You do camera processing,
Yep.
you do memory processing, you do everything when you engage with your device. And then AI came on, and now you're doing AI on the device. That's
Yeah.
why we have the NPU. Now, as Qualcomm, we put the GPU, the CPU, and the NPU on the same chip and a small one called Snapdragon.
Love that. And I remember Snapdragon because I had a campaign a long, long time ago working with Qualcomm on one of your media campaigns. It's about a decade ago. Talk to me a little bit about why people are now obsessing about, the sort of this space and why it's become such an important currency.
Actually, it started with COVID. It was very impressive. When COVID started, people were not accessing PCs, smartphones. They wanted to buy. There were no cars. Even the car, they start wondering, why can't I buy a car? Everything is available. No, it's missing a chip. And that raised attention. General public, but also governments.
Yes.
Very much so. So governments start talking about resiliency in the supply chain and other big words. But it means how can you ensure whatever happens, you still have chips that power devices that all of us count on. And that's how people start to be interested. Then, now again, you want to run AI? You can't do it without chips. Some people think AI is just in the cloud. What I can tell you is that AI is everywhere. It's in your tablet, in your PC, in your smartphone, in your car, and it will be even more across devices.
So these chips, they're custom silicon chips?
So they are not custom silicon.
Okay.
They are silicon that we would do for a specific, I would say, device. So we have a Snapdragon for smartphones. We have a Snapdragon for XR devices, like if you have a Meta Ray-Ban glass, smart glass, it's with Snapdragon inside.
Yeah.
If you have a BMW,
Yes.
you have a Snapdragon inside,
Yeah.
but it's a different kind of Snapdragon.
I'm with you.
It's bigger, more powerful, can do connected driving,
Yeah.
autonomous and assisted driving. And now we have a new category of Dragon Wings.
Dragon wings.
Dragon Wings.
Okay. Sounds like
And
a
this-
restaurant. What is it?
Yeah, it's actually taking the Dragon and really expanding it into industrial.
Okay.
So when you want your oil field to be smarter with thousands of sensors, and you want to have AI as close as where the data is, you bring a Dragon Wing. So what we are showing in Jitex, for example, is this box as small as this one running 100 trillion operation per second of AI. And that's the Dragon Wing. So chips are everywhere.
Yeah.
They're addressing multiple use cases. And again, like I can't like every device is changing, is being disrupted.
Yeah.
Disrupted with AI, disrupted with connectivity, and we're acting across the whole range of devices.
Are you somehow between the software and hardware space, or are you still predominantly on the hardware space?
We are across the stack. Hardware, software, and solutions, which is even higher in the stack.
Yeah, I heard the phrase once when I worked with Qualcomm 10 years ago. They said, you don't know it, but everyone in their phone has Qualcomm. Qualcomm was in everyone's phone.
So-
in terms of Snapdragon, the percentage,
Yeah.
what is the penetration of Qualcomm having in smartphones or any other
So
devices?
look, actually, Qualcomm is in any connected device through its invention in 5G, 4G, and 3G. We have really, we have been driving the G. So whether you're using a Snapdragon based device
Yeah.
or another competitor device, you have our technology in there.
So give me a percentage. What is your, do you have 100% coverage?
100% of any device that has 3G, 4G, 5G use a Qualcomm tech in there. And right now we're building 6G with pre-commercial devices in 2028, as early as 2028, roll out, widely in 2030. That's the foundational technologies that we built. And that's across 100% of any connected device.
But it's crazy. Not many people will know that they have Qualcomm in their phone, right? It's walking around with them every single day.
Yeah.
But that's deliberate. You're not trying to be a consumer-facing brand.
We are not a consumer, even though now Snapdragon is a very much a consumer-facing brand. My really highlight was a friend of my son, actually from Germany. So I live in France, and schools do exchange of students
Yes.
between Berlin and Paris. And he came in, and my son was presenting me. He said Qualcomm, and he said you are behind Snapdragon.
Oh, okay.
Big fan, big
Okay.
Snapdragon fan. And he said I bought the last Samsung because it has Snapdragon inside, because of the gaming
Okay.
optionality. Now let me again. This is a bit technical, but you can have Snapdragon in, or you can have any other chip in a phone. You have our connectivity technology because we are from the foundation. We build that connectivity.
Very smart.
Yeah.
So I've heard some people also say that if AI is the brain, the microchips are the heart. Is that too simplistic?
The heart of a device, you mean?
So think about it from a human anatomy,
Yeah.
right? If AI is the brain, do microchips sort of represent the heart?
The heart, because I'm trying to relate to that, right? So if the heart is the function that enable the body to function, like pumping blood, etc., probably yes. But I would say, on the chip, now I have security. So basically, I have also the protection of my body, which is not in the heart; it's beyond the heart. I have also nerves, because right now we're building a network on the chip. So you see, here in this room, you may have lots of cable. You connect your PC. you're connecting it to your tablet wirelessly, but you're connecting this microphone with this cable that goes into another machine. All these connectivity, it's a network, right?
Okay.
We're putting the whole network on a 3
So it's your
nanometer
nervous.
chip.
So effectively, it's like a nervous system.
It's nervous
It's
system.
not a heart. It's
So
a nervous
it
system.
has some pumping.
Yeah.
So because this is processing,
Yeah.
it goes beyond just. And I would argue that we're putting AI embedded in the chip. So it's
You're becoming a brain, and you're the whole body. I love
actually, the body will remain. There will remain the. I would argue the body will remain the device, but yeah, we're becoming the system in
Itself.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes the body works and act and reason.
If you use that again at any one of your talks, remember this conversation where it came from.
I'll actually use it. Now I'm like, because a simple expression is to say, we are the heart.
Because people who are outside of the sort of the processing game, they don't understand where one begins when one ends. So they need to try and put it into a context that they can understand.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like I think when we will start looking at physical AI and you start seeing robots, noticed
there's a few of them.
There are a few
here.
of them now outside. I saw them, but this is a very evolving space. By the way, what I noticed just now is that I was like deeply reflecting about your question because I lost my mojo a bit. Now I'm back. Physical AI, and this is like the robot, the humanoid, will require a lot of context awareness, lots of senses. It should see, it should resonate and act. It should hear, resonate and act. And all of that is through chips. Now, the last mile, I would say the action will require the physical action. So yeah, I think being the system itself makes a lot of sense.
I like that.
Yeah.
So talk to me about how you're approaching as Qualcomm, going from general purpose processing into sort of more purpose-built AI hardware.
We are transforming the company. New Qualcomm 10 years ago, we have transformed a lot. And I would like to give you actually just like high level and give the audience here what's happening. And some people, like I may speak about stuff that will happen in a year, 2, 3, or 5, but it's gonna happen. We have no doubt about it. The first thing is that any device is changing. It's disrupted. From smartphones to PCs to drones to robots to cars. The first disruption is how you're interacting with those devices. You're more and more using a chat language and voice, and you're asking stuff. You're asking your device to do stuff instead of saying, hey, this is my app. I click on it, my banking app, and I'm like looking at my, I want to wire transfer money. So I'm looking how much money I have left on my account, and now I'm wire transferring. You can simply say, wire transfer this amount to this person.
Yeah,
done.
Feel free to transfer me any money you'd like.
Yeah, that's I noticed that. That's I kept it generic. So, so we're moving into an agentic experience. Smart glass is a very good example. They see what you see with 2 cameras. They hear what you hear. They act on what you are saying. The car now, the digital dashboard. You ask the car, hey, what's going on? Like, why we have this red light? And the answer is like, oh, it's you have a problem with your oil, but it's all okay. You can still carry on for another 2,000 kilometers.
Yes.
You see, so devices are changing. First. 2, AI is the new user interface to your devices. 3, the models are becoming smaller, the AI models. So we now speak about models in the cloud. They're becoming smaller and in your devices. We call that SLM, small language model. And between the two, you have connectivity. That disruption is adding a local component to it. So you need the device to speak your language, your dialect, and think the way you think. It's not just one model ruling them all. It's local by nature. So you take all of that and you say, how can I engage the local community? How can they develop apps that are valid for this system? From app, how can they develop products and devices, right? And we've done it. We've released like 2 weeks ago the first AI PC designed in Saudi Arabia, embedding the Alam, the large language model built in Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
It's called a humane PC, AI PC. So it's no more like the big brands. It's designed locally with local content. And then the last mission for us is bring developers on all these platforms, developers that can do an industrial application or an application on the phone or the PC or the smart glasses. So making the platforms as open as possible.
So there's a lot of countries trying to get into the whole semiconductor race, right?
Yeah.
And trying to attract, chip manufacturing and talent around the world. How does the UAE or this region sort of compare versus other markets in attracting that interest and that investment?
So look, at the first thing I really like to always go deeper in this conversation, because I've been speaking for 70 years now, since COVID, with all governments across the region. And everybody wants chip manufacturing and design of chips. Chip manufacturing is actually hard to displace. Like everybody wants resiliency in the supply chain, and everybody wants to have chip manufacturing as close as possible.
Wassim, just take a step back.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. If from a contextual perspective,
Yes.
how much of chip manufacturing is happening in the likes of China versus the rest of the world? Give us where is the hotbed?
Okay.
So at the moment, the current landscape, what does that look like?
Yes.
And then how do you see that shifting?
2 layers of explanation then. The first, what's a chip? And it depends on the size of the chip. We call that leading chip that you find in your PC, in your car, or in your smartphone. We're speaking about 3 nanometer.
Okay.
Then you have mature chips in the 24 nanometer space. These are chips that you can also find in your car, in your PC, in your smartphone. These are chips that connect your device. We call radio frequency chips that connect your device to the network, 5G, Wi-Fi. Then you have chips called very like old kind of chips, 150 nanometer. But very important chips. Why? Because they can manage your battery. So without these chips, you can't have a smartphone. So when you look at chips, you have the full range, leading up to mature and training nodes. Leading nodes, where all the concentration of the discussion is mostly in Asia.
Where in Asia?
Taiwan with TSMC and Samsung, Korea, mostly there. And now we've seen Intel trying also to be on the leading edge with build out in the US.
China is not a big player in the chip market?
In this leading node, 3 nanometer, Taiwan, Korea, and then you have now the US with Intel, which is trying to get in. Then where you see more competition is on these 12 nanometer and above, or 7 nanometer now and above, where you can see China, you see Europe, you see US, in addition to obviously Taiwan.
So then contextualize that within this region.
Yes.
How does the UAE or Saudi rank in terms of being able to potentially have that level of talent to come here to develop these chips? Are we a long way off? Is it already happening?
My strong advice has always been you start with designing chips. Qualcomm is a fabless company. We don't have manufacturing. We design, and you see our value. NVIDIA is a fabless company. AMD is a fabless company. So you start, even fabless companies that design chip have a lot of value. And having talents that can design chip is a very, very hard thing to do, to attract those talents. But you need to start there. Manufacturing is a different game, because manufacturing needs clusters to do that. And I would argue that, start with design and then move to the manufacturing.
Okay. Well, last question I have, geopolitics is obviously is at play. So what role does sort of the national policies play in determining whether or not it's going to shape chip supremacy? Is it, let's say UAE and Saudi wanted to get into this game. How much can they impact based on a sovereign approach versus, working with private companies? Is it a case of let's throw money at the situation and let's try and change things and attract the best talent to help with the designing? Or is there other ways in which...
It's way more complicated.
Please elaborate.
So If it's about money, they have been like for 3 years now, Chips Act, what we call Chips Act, like in Europe, 50 billion euros. In the US they have also put the Chips Act. You need to create ecosystems. You need companies to come in and invest, bring talent, and go up in the value chain. You need certainly policies. You need investment for sure. You need an environment of innovation. And I do believe both the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the UAE are on track to get there. So investment, innovation spirit, and attracting the right companies, the big and small, but certainly the big one to come and invest, because you need that cluster of expertise. I'll give you one example in Ireland. We have now a very strong semiconductor design in Ireland, in Cork. We started with one engineer, and now we have over 1,000.
Wow.
When Qualcomm went in and set up this design center, it created a full cluster of smaller companies and bigger companies come and poaching our talents. Because when a talent would come, actually, it's about all the energy you build and all the ecosystem you build now, because they want to, top talents want to grow.
It's a microeconomy in its own right.
You want to grow.
Ecosystem.
You want to be in where things are happening.
Silicon Valley is a perfect example.
Exactly. And you want to, I would argue, you want to have churn.
Yeah.
So you want to move to the next company that's bigger and nicer, and that's the fertilization. So you need that, create these clusters. Very important.
So what's the next big leap when it comes to chip design, chip power? How is that going to impact the rest of our lives?
You need to have.
What's coming next?
Yeah, it's impressive. From my perspective, what's going on is impressive. Like when I look at the roadmap of Qualcomm, I just can't be more excited. And honestly, you wake up every morning and you have a new challenge, because everybody's bringing a new challenge to you in terms of use cases, how AI can impact my industry, how can I do a better product, this and that. Now, if I want to summarize it, is imagine all the news devices that will be out there, including personal AI, ambient AI, like devices that will be with you and that will augment you. Right? While respecting privacy, not substituting you, right? It's very important. And having, apps and development that will help, like AI that can help you. So new kind of devices. We can think of today and things that we can't think of today. What we're building is the platform to enable others to create things where we don't know what they would look like. And what I mean by platform, when you build a silicon that helps you, do AI continuously at very low power.
Yeah. But I'm going to push you for an answer. I want to know, what's the next big leap? What's the next big thing that's going to happen that's going to impact our lives?
Potentially physical AI.
Okay.
With robots. That will be like a big thing, because now AI is no more like a chat or user interface, is an object next to you, coming with you, potentially helping you do a lot of stuff. So AI moving from software to action.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. You've had 20 years plus at Qualcomm. Yeah. What's the one insight that you would like to share that not many people know about your industry and what you guys are doing?
We are an industry that never stops innovating, and if you don't do it, you die. And it's about investing in the right areas, right? And it's hard. You're asking basically what the world would look like in 10 years and where to invest today to be on the right roadmap. So it's investing, changing all the time to make sure you get the right, you're on the right path, and also creating technology that helps people. I'm a strong believer in that. It's ultimately, if people endorse the technology, it will be successful. If you're trying to force technology on people, and in a very disruptive way, that will never fly. And we learned it from smartphone. Smartphone has been the biggest platform ever. 1.2 billion smartphone is sold every year. it's a huge platform, and you need to do it in the right way. Now, that's why we have a strong also government engagement, because ultimately it's about government setting their policies.
Yes.
They need to set it right. So working together ahead of availability to do the right things.
Last question.
Yeah.
What are your expectations for GITEX 2025?
GITEX 2025.
Right now, what are you expecting this week?
It's huge. Really, it's huge. Like, what I like here is that it's the intersection of all regions. I love it. And therefore, as I said, whatever we're building is culturally local.
Yeah.
Building, it's global going to local. And here you have all nationalities,
It's a melting pot.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
And therefore, everybody's bringing great innovation, but meeting people, like getting people to meet technology and all these cultures to connect. That's what I love the most about GITEX 2025.
Amazing. Wassim, it's been great to connect with you. Thank you so much for being part of the Inside GITEX podcast, and wish you all the very best at Qualcomm. Here's to another 20 years.
Thank you so much.
See you soon.
See you.